Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita underscores the important themes of the film, which are religion, women's roles in Italian culture, New Rome versus Old Rome, and progress of Italy since the economic boom of the late 1950s. Italy leapt from being an almost underdeveloped country into an age of rapid and unparalleled economic growth, fueled by massive increases in exports of such popular products as Vespa motor scooters, Fiat automobiles, introducing a new standard of living. This lifestyle embodies Fellini's Rome, representing a world of public relations, press conferences, paparazzi, empty religious rites, meaningless intellectual debates, and unrewarding love affairs. In this scene, when Silvia arrives in Rome, Fellini captures the spirit of tabloid sensationalism. Tabloid photography became one of the most popular means of chronicling this kind of Roman movie star cult personality, and the age gave birth to the non-familiar phenomenon known as paparazzi. Silvia emerges and re-emerges from the plane in order to allow various poses highlighting her superficiality, as well as the cultural superficiality associated with celebrity obsession. The gifts of pizza and flowers symbolize Italy's desire for a connection with Hollywood stardom. The paparazzi encourage her to eat it so they can immortalize the connection of beautiful movie stars and Italy.
Fellini introduces the scene by showing the facade of St. Peter's to emphasize the impact Italian history has had in shaping the monuments and the culture. This is juxtaposed with Silvia and what she represents to modern culture and art. She represents the fast-paced life associated with celebrity and New World icons, while St. Peter's represents ancient and historical icons that have maintained their importance throughout history. This shows Fellini's proclivity of breaking away from the Roman tradition of the Renaissance man, and the intellectual ideas, but edging toward superficial ideas. Anita Ekberg, the actress who plays Silvia, was chosen purely for her beauty, not for her acting skills, as she was a model before the film. Fellini capitalizes on her bust, which shows his familiarity with Italian audiences and their desire and obsession with the superficiality of the Hollywood female form. When Silvia and Marcello reach the balcony overlooking the St. Peter's complex, Fellini again uses the buxom blonde to assert her beauty and importance, overpowering the architecture and the legacy of St. Peter's.
Made in the studio.
Can't believe it. Shall we reggiate company?
It is not in Rome. It is in Florence.
Oh.
The reversal of that standard American shot where the guy takes the girl's glasses off and says, "Why, you're beautiful." So, now
Throughout La Dolce Vita, the role of gender serves as a tool to propel all of the film's underlying themes, such as the confusion between the inauthentic world of celebrities and actual reality. Nearly all women in the film are idealistically beautiful or erotic, as well as serve as extremities of stereotypical feminine behavior. From an exterior standpoint, most women characters that directly interact with Marcello are either depicted in extremely elaborate and glitzy costumes that sexualize women, or are depicted in clothing that accentuates the feminine figure. From one sense, the secondary yet frequent roles of women serve as incessant distractions between Marcello's superficial job of covering tabloids of celebrities. The representation of women serves often to depict the shallow and vapid nature of the decadent upper class.
La Dolce Vita portrays the importance of women through the centralization of love affairs, relationships, and the illustration of the female body as an erotic image. Another important use of women as a means to propel the themes throughout the movie is Marcello's enticing night with actress Sylvia. This proves to be one of the most pivotal points of the film. They meet while Marcello is trapped in a tabloid world of illusion. The two spend the night together in one of the most erotically charged sequences of the entire film. Sylvia is depicted as the ultimate sex symbol. She is voluptuous and extremely desirable while she bathes in the water of the Trevi Fountain, while dressed in a tight-fitted black dress. Everything from her facial expression to her flowing blonde hair cascading down the nape of her neck is sexualized. The camera shows Marcello looking at Sylvia as the object of his desire, completely captivated by her. However, Sylvia is never really attainable. The sexual energy of the scene is abruptly cut off at its climax, bringing both characters back to reality and to Marcello's realization of his meaningless existence. While they share an exciting, fleeting affair, Fellini uses her as an object that ignites the tension between Marcello's imaginary world and his mundane reality. Women are either depicted in severe or illusionary extremes that serve to reinforce themes of confusion between the glamorous and decadent life of celebrities and the reality of Marcello's meaningless existence.
So he's musically a little bit on the cutting edge in this piece.
Again, Fellini juxtaposes ancient monuments with modern cultural practices, including binge drinking, racy dancing, and rock and roll music. The ancient remains of the Basse Caracalla acts as a backdrop for their party, allowing modern culture to take center stage.
Kind of a good one. There's something in her that's childlike. She's playful, she's willful, she is without any particular commitment to anything except perhaps to her own narcissism. You know, she's an important symbol to Fellini because she's an empty image. She's an image into which somebody like Marcello can pour anything he wants to pour. And I think that's an aspect of movie stardom that people forget. I mean, movie stars are the receptacle of our dreamings, our fantasies, and in some ways they are innocents. They can't be responsible for what we impose upon the great shots in the picture. I mean, this lift of Ekberg and this sort of practically falling out of her dress and, you know, reaching a kind of orgiastic climax. I mean, here Fellini's really at his best. I think the sequence finally takes on a life of its own when it...
Silvia, please!
Non è successo niente, andate via.
Se rompiamo l'ambrettatura, guido io.
Silvia, Silvia,
non far carogna,
we go with my car.
Bravo Marcello, questa è un'idea.
Sit down, Silvia, sit down.
Portiamo la occhia, eh?
It's a little motif of this movie. He is of the paparazzi, and yet, you know, he is constantly plagued by them, has to constantly try to get rid of him. And in this case, manages to do so. But this business of the paparazzi haunting everybody's waking moments and maybe even their dreaming moments is a wonderful motif in this movie. And I think, you know, whenever it's being criticized, it seems... And there it is, the Fontana di Trevi.
Known as the most iconic scene of the film, Fellini turns this fantasy into a symbol for feminine purity and innocence juxtaposed against a world of corruption and decadence. He presents his Roman metaphor for the contemporary world of image-making, public relations, movie stardom, and the glamorous lifestyles of the rich and famous with bemused detachment.
Marcello, come here. Hurry up.
It seems to me, you know, that, to put this perhaps a little too crudely, but I don't think erroneously. You know, the flow of that water represents the full promise of, flowing sexuality. And, he is within moments of his goal here. And she, I think, is, for the moment, ready to yield to him. The cessation of the water, the end of the flow, and that is the end of their romance. I mean, it's over now.
Instead of the Trevi Fountain being an architectural monument, it is turned into a play place for sexual innuendos and bad behavior. Fellini uses old monuments in order to showcase what is important to modern Italian culture.
The fountain that suddenly has no life in it. I mean, it's interesting if you look at, I think
in the opening scene of the movie, women are used as a tool to juxtapose the religion that dominated the orthodoxy of old Rome to the absence of religion in the more shallow existence of modern Rome. A bold statue of Jesus, tantalizing, hangs from chains that descend down from a helicopter. The direction of the statue is unknown and eventually wanders into the shallow world of women clad in bikinis and large sunglasses. Wrapped up in their self-absorbed existence, they jump up from sunbathing atop a modern skyscraper to wave at the dangling Jesus. This juxtaposition between the shallow women occupied by the New Age and the Jesus statue eradicates the sacredness of Jesus. The women literally wave goodbye to the statue, and in a way to faith that Fellini is attempting to convey becomes diminished in the modern day. In the final scene, the fish that is being pulled onto shore is a symbol for Christianity. Fish are considered symbols of Christianity, one of which is that several of Jesus' disciples were fishermen. Another is that during the persecution by the Roman Empire, Christians used the fish symbol to mark meeting places and tombs or decipher friend from foe. There are several theories of why the fish has been chosen as a symbol for Christ, but the fact that the fish is dead in the closing scene of La Dolce Vita depicts that Christianity too is dead. The dead fish and Marcello portray this, but the young girl Paola represents innocence and purity, or what Christians hold them to be. The fact that Paola and Marcello are unable to connect represents the ongoing juxtaposition of purity and innocence with corruption in Italy.